All right, let's journey back in time. We're heading to a dusty pond in the Arabian Peninsula to witness a single declaration that would go on to shape the faith of millions. This is the story of Eid al-Ghadir, a cornerstone event for Shia Muslims. And you know what? Its legacy is more alive today than ever. So, just how big of a deal is this day? To really get it, we have to start with the words of the Prophet Muhammad himself. According to Shia tradition, he didn't just call it an Eid. He called it the best Eid of my nation. That's a huge statement. We're not just talking about another holiday. In this view, it's the supreme celebration. Okay, here's our game plan for this explainer. We'll start with why it's called the greatest Eid. Then we're going to travel to that historical moment at Ghadir Khum and hear the Prophet's pivotal declaration. From there, we'll see how this event is seen as the perfection of faith, how it's celebrated across the globe today, and finally, we'll unpack the core principle it established for generations to come. First up, let's really unpack the weight of this day. Because Eid al-Ghadir isn't just a day of remembrance. In Shia Islam, it's seen as the moment that defines the very future of leadership for the entire Muslim community. It's that fundamental. So what exactly are we talking about here? Well, it's a holiday celebrated on the 18th day of the final month of the Islamic calendar. But at its heart, the whole reason for the celebration is this one specific moment, when the Prophet Muhammad is believed to have publicly appointed his cousin and son-in-law, Ali ibn Abi Talib, as his successor. And you know what I find fascinating? The day has all these other names, and they tell you so much about its status. It's not just Eid al-Ghadir. In Shia traditions, you'll hear it called the greatest divine Eid, the supreme Eid, and even the day of guardianship. Each title just adds another layer, really hammering home how incredibly important this day is. Now let's really set the scene. We're going to travel back in time more than 1,400 years ago to a very real place on a very specific day. This isn't a myth, it's a historical event, and the setting is absolutely crucial. So picture this. The year is 632 CE. The Prophet Muhammad is leading his final pilgrimage, his Hajjatul Wada, and the crowd is massive. Some sources say over 100,000 people. As this huge caravan is heading back from Mecca, he suddenly orders everyone to stop at a place known as Ghadir Khum. And this was no ordinary rest stop. I mean, it's the middle of the day in a scorching hot valley. The Prophet specifically tells the people way up front to turn around and come back, and he waits for all the stragglers to catch up. You just know something major is about to go down for everyone to be gathered like this. And this brings us right to the heart of it all. They pile up some rocks and camel saddles to make a kind of makeshift stage, and the Prophet prepares to address the enormous crowd. But before he makes his big announcement, he asks a question, a really, really important one. He looks out at everyone and asks, "Do I not have more right over the believers than they have over themselves?" Just think about that for a second. This is a fundamental question about authority and loyalty. The response from the crowd was apparently a thunderous, unanimous cry, "Yes, O Messenger of God." So, with his authority confirmed by everyone there, the stage was set for a declaration that would echo through history. Then, in that charged atmosphere, the Prophet takes Ali's hand, raises it high so everyone can see, and he makes the famous declaration, "For whoever I am his leader, Ali is his leader, Mala." This one sentence, it's the absolute heart of the Ghadir Khum event. Okay, so we have to focus on that key word, Mala. It's a rich Arabic term that can mean friend, protector, or master. And this is where interpretations really differ. The Shia interpretation, based on the sources, argues that the Prophet's question right before this, about his own authority, set a very clear context. In that moment, they argue Mala could only mean one thing, master or leader. Now, this declaration wasn't made in a vacuum. According to the narrative in the sources, it was actually framed by divine revelation, which is what cements its place as such an essential part of the faith. And this really illustrates the sequence of events. The sources say that just before the sermon, a verse was revealed telling the Prophet to deliver the message. Then came the declaration about Ali, and right after, another verse came down, one that says, "Today I've perfected your religion for you." This timeline frames the appointment of a successor as the final perfecting act of the religion itself. So, how do we get from that ancient event in the desert to a modern, global holiday? Let's take a look at how Eid al-Ghadir is celebrated today. Well, Shia Muslims all over the world mark this day with a whole host of customs. It's a day of joy, for sure, with special prayers, big family meals, new clothes, and giving gifts. But there's also a huge emphasis on charity and helping out those in need. And to give you a sense of the sheer scale of these celebrations, in 2022, a festival in Tehran stretched for an incredible 10 kilometers. Can you imagine that? Hundreds of thousands of people pouring into the streets, showing just how massive these public commemorations can be. And this isn't just ancient history, it's incredibly relevant today. As recently as 2024, the parliament in Iraq officially declared Eid al-Ghadir a national public holiday, so it's getting more and more official recognition right now. Okay, finally, let's zoom out a bit. Beyond the history and the celebrations, what is the lasting idea, the core principle that this day established? Because it's about way more than just a single appointment. It all comes down to this concept of wilaya, which you can think of as divine guardianship. From a Shia perspective, the event of Ghadir Khum establishes the very foundation for leadership in Islam, that true leaders aren't just chosen by people, but are divinely appointed to guide the community, starting with Ali. And that leaves us with this final thought, doesn't it? How does a single declaration, made in a desert valley over 14 centuries ago, continue to be such a powerful and defining moment for the faith and identity of millions of people all over the world today? It's a real testament to how deeply history and faith can be intertwined.